Some things have compiled since the last time I have made a video. One of them being Bridgewater's comments on having a Favre-like career, just with hopefully more Super Bowls. I forget the exact wording, but I think what he meant was more along the lines of like the mentality that Favre brought, like like the like that Sandlot kind of thing, like that energy, like bring that, and not so much of the fumbles and picks and all the turnovers, because I think Teddy is smarter than like with the ball anyway. Like I'm not gonna raise any IQ level questions here. I just think in terms of better decision making, I think Teddy's a lot better than Favre was. So I'm not really worried about that part of the picks. I'm more concerned of like why he would choose more of a Packer legend. I don't know, like a little weird, I think, but that's just me. That's a personal opinion. Uh, the news that came out today with AP and his won't attend OTA thing. I think we all kind of saw that one coming. To be honest with you, that was. I thought. I think he's gonna end up missing some until he realizes he really is starting to miss some money on a contract that he didn't get fully guaranteed. That was his goal. Did not get it. Therefore, he's gonna be losing some money that is not guaranteed. So now he's really just. I don't know. I think he's gonna realize he's losing it. Come back. Like I'm thinking that's what's gonna end up happening. When it's too. I think that's a too obvious kind of thing. Uh, let's see. There was the Tice thing, which I think they're just kind of really trying to fill out stories now with these things like that. It's not very. Zimmer did say that Cordero was running better routes, which is that's good to hear. That is very very good to hear. Like I would prefer a guy like Zimmer to be saying these things because Zimmer's been known to not lie. Waynes was also said that he will be competing for a job, not he is already the starter, which is how it should be. You shouldn't be an unproven rookie that comes in like immediately starting caliber. Like if you're not like obviously like a top quarterback or like depending on your position, like and positioning of draft pick kind of like where he actually went. Like I think Bortles probably should have started due to those things, but last year, but like I think they did the right thing by sitting him for a little while there. I did think Bortles did win out of that, but that's a different thing. Uh, yeah. Foreman apparently gets some things out there where he's. There was a fan today that said he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. I will not disagree. I think he's snubbed. He's very underrated, dude. Uh, if any of you guys like pay attention to Bleach Report, I saw one thing where they said Tyrus Thompson could end up being our starting left tackle if Khalil is sucky again. Which that wouldn't be too surprising, to be honest with you. That's not the most iffy thing. Like that has some merit to it, but I personally think Khalil will work himself out, and all these things I think it will work out by itself. Some interviews that happened were Charles Johnson didn't really say too much besides the fact that he gets a full off season because last year he was rehabbing his knee and all that on the practice squad, all these other things. So, and then Kendricks, another one on the interviews, basically said that we as fans get to basically like kind of what he said was that he prides himself on his playmaking and tackling ability, which you can see that in the film that he has that. I mean, you don't get 480 tackles by mistake. That doesn't happen. So he's what I thought was the most instinctive linebacker in the draft. And I know I didn't release a mock draft, but I did make one. I had us taking Kendricks after trading down twice and picking him at 24. That was my thought. So we got what I thought was a first round guy in the second round, along with the first guy in Wayne's. So those were two high end draft picks in my opinion. Clemmings, that Clemmings one was good. I like that one because of that entire, he did fall to the fourth kind of thing. That's more of draft recap, which I did make a video for. You guys should go check that out if you haven't. It's more of it's kind of all of the teams in the North, NFC North. So I thought that would be more informational than just the one. It'd be more like, oh hey, look, this is what everyone else is doing. But yeah. So this is gonna be a relatively shorter video, by the way. So you guys should leave down in comments what you guys think about this Peterson non-OTA thing, because I personally don't think he should be skipping it anyway. I think he's lucky that we didn't even try to restructure his contract, because I think it is too high, and he's complaining that he doesn't have enough, which I don't understand how you get that problem. He should not be asking for more money at all, ever. Once those words of raise came from his mouth, if I'm Rick Spielman or Mike Zimmer or any of those other guys, and the executive or the coaches, I would actually be trying to deal him somewhere. I don't know about you guys, but after he said we showed him no commitment, that organization showed him no commitment. That's what he says. So, an organization that shows no commitment but pays you while you're suspended, that's on that monster contract that he is on. That doesn't sound like a commitment, really? Now you want the rest of your contract fully guaranteed? The problem I have with him trying to guarantee the rest of his contract was that he that's basically around $100 million fully guaranteed for him. That's almost guaranteeing the entire thing, because we just barely ran out of his guaranteed money. So if we're going to sign, I don't know about you, but I really don't want to spend $70 million on a running back. Just on one running back in total. That just seems a little much for me. I think teams like Dallas this past year have proved you get 5 O linemen who can really block. It doesn't really matter who's back there. Murray, he did get 1,800 yards. He's not a bad back. Behind the average kind of line in the NFL, he'd probably be somewhere between a 1,000 to 1,200 yard back consistently if he's healthy, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. I'm just saying he's never really that's a back that got gassed out easily. He doesn't really within 10 yards he's gonna break tackles, but outside of 10 or 15 yards, he's really not going to try to break the tackle. He's just gonna go down at first contact. So that's one reason why. You get a guy like that. He rushed for almost 2,000 yards last year, and he didn't really have that home run threat. Didn't break too many tackles. He was just that O-line blocking between that 5 to 10 yard range every time. So correct me if I'm wrong. If we're gonna spend that kind of money, let's put it up front with the big guys who will protect our quarterback, and then we can put an explosive guy back there in Norv Turner's offense, like a Jerick McKinnon. That's why this offseason, if we did deal Peterson somewhere, I wouldn't be too sad. I wouldn't be too upset if we rolled with McKinnon as our starter, because last year he did run with 4.8 yards a carry. That's not bad under any circumstance. He did get hurt. People say he's too small. I prefer the smaller backs, those shorter kind, because that's a lower center gravity. They can turn easier. It's harder to hit him. Yeah, he did get hurt last year, but that's not because anyone hit McKinnon. That was because he had a weightlifting thing with his back. He injured his back while lifting weights. That's not bad. Well, yeah, it's bad that he got hurt, but I think you guys know what I mean. Don't put him as an injury-prone guy just because of that. I feel like he could be a little bit more than just a little scat back that everyone kind of labeled him as, strictly because he is 5'9", about 210, and runs a 4.3, 4.4 kind of range. So I don't. It's okay. Like I don't mind. I wouldn't have minded him at all as our starter. Like yeah, I know some people will look at the stats and be like, he didn't score a touchdown. That's because we put Asiata in. Which, speaking of Asiata, why does Norv like Asiata so much? Like I get it. Like he is a good pass protector, so let's put him in on third down. I get that. Third down in short yardage situations, that's okay. But there were games where we would give it to Asiata about 15 plus times. We should never be giving it to Asiata 15 or more times. That should not be happening. So that was wrong. Like I know Peterson got hurt. Like I thought we should have given Ben Tate more of a chance than Asiata here when we had Ben Tate last year, just to see what he could do. We didn't really give it to him much. So I don't know, man. Maybe this is why I'm not running anything. Anyway, that's all I really got. So farewell.